Hey everyone, my name is Gideon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a minute since I've been on here, but I'm super excited to bring you guys this video. I recently just moved into this house and there was a lot of work to be done, and I want to share with you guys how I turned my bedroom from this to this. Definitely was a long process, but I wanted to record, kind of journal this transformation and share it with you guys. So if you're interested, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Here's a quick floor plan of my bedroom. It's not really a crazy big space, but there's definitely a lot I could work with, and there's enough space for my bed and desk, and then all my clothes in my closet. The thing I wanted to do was prep the bedroom before I start the transformation. The first thing I wanted to do was change the colors. The previous owners originally had this room painted in a brown and yellow colorway, and it was too warm for my preference and the colors clashed. So I'm not sure why they chose this color palette. So I chose to repaint, so I had to repaint it. So first thing I did was prep the walls, which meant wiping down any surfaces from dirt, dust, and debris. Next thing I did was patch the walls for any blemishes using spackle or drywall putty. So after the spackle dried, I sanded it down to smooth out the surfaces. After sanding both walls, I went over the walls with a damp cloth to remove any sand. So I needed to make sure, so this was a very important part, I needed to make sure all the surfaces were clean and smooth before I started the paint process. I'm gonna paint this wall gray and then this wall gray. Basically, this entire room will be gray except this brown wall. I'm gonna make this wall white. I got the sample colors here from Home Depot. So the first shade of gray I got was Iron Mountain. And then what do we got here? Imperial Gray and Digital. I don't know, like they kind of look similar, but like the Digital is like a shade darker than these two. And then I'd say Iron Mountain is like the next darkest, and then Imperial Gray is like the lightest shade of gray. So I'm just gonna test each one. I'll just paint it on this wall, and I don't know, we'll see how it turns out. Here's the paint samples. This one was Digital, Imperial Gray, and Iron Mountain. So you can kind of see Digital is pretty dark. In the camera, it looks kind of black, but it's a little bit brighter than this in person. And then you see it gets a bit lighter, Imperial Gray, and then Iron Mountain. I feel like this one's a little too cool, but I do like how bright it is. This one is definitely too dark. So I'm kind of between these two. Guys, so I just finished taping up the trimming. So I did the window, the baseboard, trims. So I'm gonna start just applying the gray paint across the edges here. Then I'll do this as well. And I'll make sure like all these corners are painted, the edges here, and then I'll just kind of work my way across the room. So I did most of the edges here on this wall, as well as I did the edges on this window and the closet. I still have to do this corner here. This is all gonna be gray as well. This is gonna be gray, and then this wall is gonna be gray. So since the older colors were a bit warmer and I wasn't really a fan of the colors, I wanted to go for more cooler monochromatic tones, so implementing colors such as white, gray, and black. Since this room will not only act as my bedroom but also my home office / creator studio, I wanted to make sure my bedroom looked good as a backdrop for my videos and kind of give it that clean, minimal vibe. So I went to Home Depot to pick up some paint samples and narrowed it down to 3 shades of gray. I think that's the color I wanted to go for. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos of bedrooms and home offices, and gray was the one that kind of stuck out to me. So my plan in painting was to have 3 walls in my bedroom in the gray, and then 1 wall in white, which would act as my accent wall, which would also be a backdrop for my video. So right now you're just looking at the gray walls in the back. And a disclaimer for everyone, this is my first time painting besides in high school, so I'm not claiming to be a professional or an expert at painting. So after watching a 3-minute YouTube tutorial, I started painting the walls, and I went with the Iron Mountain gray colorway. When I finished painting the 3 walls in gray, I painted the accent wall, and this wall I wanted to be white to add contrast to the bedroom and use it as a blank canvas to display things such as my photos that I've taken from traveling and concerts, as well as my Supreme skateboard decks, which I've been collecting for the past couple of years, just because I thought it was a cool display piece. So once I finished painting everything, it was time to clean up the bedroom. So I finished applying the second coat of paint on the white wall, and I cleaned up the edges, so it's a lot more clean now. I might have to touch it up just a bit. It's a little crooked, but it's a lot better than it was earlier. I think I'm just gonna leave it at 2 coats. I don't think I need to apply more. So I've already actually started stripping the tape. So I already took it off the window, and I'm just gonna work my way across the room and remove all that tape there. Next big step in this bedroom transformation was the lighting. So if you saw in the beginning, there was the lighting in this room. There's only one source of light in this room, and it's from the ceiling fan. I didn't really like just because it hang down very low. So I took a quick stop to Home Depot just to take a look at what type of ceiling lights they had, because I wanted one that was, first of all, not a fan, but just a light that was that didn't protrude too much from the ceiling or was flush with the ceiling. So I ended up going with the Hampton Bay ceiling light. I also took just because this one, there were specific adjustments to change like the warmth of the light as well as how bright it was, which was really nice. There were other ceiling fans that had like RGB LED lights, but I didn't really need that for my main light. But I did take a look at other LED lights that I wanted to, and lamps that I wanted to incorporate into my room as a second source of light. For example, for my desk, I definitely needed another light for that, which I'll go into later. So now I had to install the ceiling light and remove the old ceiling fan. I was kind of sketched out with changing the light since I didn't really know how to do it either. I didn't want to electrocute myself or anything like that. So first thing I did was remove the old ceiling fan and the light bulbs. And that wasn't too bad. I just had to unscrew some screws and disconnect the wiring. But before I did all this, I turned off the electricity for this bedroom. So whether the switch was up or down, there wasn't a live wire. So now, installing the ceiling light, it got kind of tricky because some of the screws that came with the ceiling light were too short to connect to the ceiling in this room. So I had to improvise and use the old screws from the ceiling fan to screw it up into the ceiling. And then I also got help from my girlfriend, who helped install the ceiling fan to the ceiling, or sorry, the ceiling light to the ceiling, just because my hands were too big to kind of like screw it in between. This was a big part of the room that I wanted to change, and now we have a brand new ceiling light. Now it was time for my favorite part, and that was furnishing the room. So I started with adding in some shelves I got from IKEA, one in the corner of my room to store books, miscellaneous things, display pieces, and yeah, like other things, like just random things I wanted to store on the shelf. And then I put my lac shelf from IKEA to display my fake plants and also act as a nightstand, as I placed it next to my bed. It also acted as like a little charging station. So then the next step was building my bed. So a lot of this I already had from my old apartment, so I didn't need to buy any new furniture. So I started building this bed frame that I had from IKEA that I've had the past 2 years, and this is the Malm bed frame. I went with this bed frame just because it has the drawers underneath the bed frame to store clothes, so I can put storage underneath my bed just to maximize space. Now it was time to build my desk. So you might notice that the desk behind me right now is not the same desk that I'm showing you in the actual video, and that's because in between the time I filmed this video to now, I did make some changes to my desk, but I'll just show you guys my old desk setup in the meantime. I'll make a separate video on my current desk right now, just because I really want to go into, dive down into detail on how I made my desk. This is just my old desk setup is it's just like the typical budget IKEA desk with the Alex drawers and the countertop, the cheap countertop, and the desk legs. So this is the old desk setup I had when COVID started. I was working full-time and I realized I needed a home office because I didn't have one at the time. So I just went with that just because it was cheap and it served its purpose. This old desk setup was my setup in my previous apartment, comprising of the Alex drawer and countertop combo. It's a good budget desk setup, and I ended up changing it afterwards because I wanted a sit-stand desk and a larger countertop because I went with a smaller one. Another thing I did was I installed a pegboard on the side to store my cords and camera gear, headphones, and my controllers for my PS5, just other miscellaneous things. I've seen lots of desk setups with that pegboard, and I just thought it looked really cool, so I wanted to get it myself. And I also wanted to make it not only functional but aesthetic, something that's within reach from sitting down and has all the things I need. The last thing I needed to do for the furnishing was add in, so earlier I said I wanted a white accent wall. So this is the wall where I wanted to put all my art pieces, or all the pictures and displays that I wanted to put up. So this included pictures, prints that I made, and skate decks that I've been collecting. Everything was coming together, and it was nice to see everything I visualized come to fruition. That's my bedroom transformation. I also left 2 walls blank in my bedroom, just because I have plans with one of the walls to display album artwork. I love listening to music, and I just wanted to display it in my room. And then I chose to leave one wall blank just because I don't want to be that type of person that uses every single space or use up every single space on the wall. Like, I want to leave one blank. It's less overwhelming, and I do kind of want to go for the minimal look, but I guess it's not really minimal anymore if I'm adding stuff to it. But I definitely wanted to leave that one wall blank. That was the last step in my bedroom transformation, so now I'll show you guys some B-roll. really happy with how this bedroom turned out. It's everything that I visualized. I still have plans, like I said, to fill one of the walls. It's currently blank right now, but I'll save it for another video. From start to end, this whole transformation took around 6 months. You know, I work a full-time job, regular 9 to 5, so it took a lot of late nights, a lot of working on weekends, but it was worth it in the end. Now I can say I have a room that describes me, who I am, and the things that I like. I'll make another video of my desk setup behind me. It's different. It's definitely an upgrade from my old desk, to show you guys what my gear is, what I use to edit, what I game on. If you made it this far into the video, I just wanted to say thank you to all my new viewers. Welcome to my channel. Please leave a like and comment down below what your favorite part of this bedroom transformation was. And if you have any recommendations on things I should add, switch up, or remove. Hopefully you guys found this video informative, and yeah, I wanna start uploading videos again, so be on the lookout for that. I'll see you on the next video. Take care, guys.